It's SCI time for grade 11 students. These days we are talking about the last lesson, the 15th unit, and here you can see today's plan. We have discussed 25 questions already related to this biosphere lesson and man and the environment part we are doing here, and today's plan is to do question number 26 to 49. Right, let's move on to the first chapter here. It's about medicine, so the chemicals that we use in household activities. There are different types basically we use in household activities, especially to kill germs or to destroy germs. We use such things. The first type, you can see this picture, you can understand what is explaining that. Those are the medicines. So importance of medicine is to ease the ailments, kind of diseases we can cure with this, and that's why we use medicines. Some examples also given here: anodynes for the fever, that the painkiller types, so maybe the magnesium carbonate, aluminum hydroxides gel, milk of magnesia, such things considered as the medicines. There is a harm in using medicines. Medicines normally we use when we got sick or in kind of disease condition. But if you use them excessively or if you take it without a prescription of a doctor, that can be damage, that can be harmful to us, and mainly damage our kidneys and liver. The other fact is, if you take overdose, that also dangerous thing. Then normally with a prescription, doctors advise us to take the amount of medicines. If you take more than that, that is kind of harmful thing. And the second thing, these things you can see, there is a wound, and betadine is a famous brand name. It contains the iodine solution, and this type of ones we use as antiseptics to destroy or prevent the growth of microorganisms. That's the importance of it. Iodine, surgical acid, boric acid, or such things are the examples. Again, the harm is taking higher dose or using that long period without doctor's advice. Third type is, this is very common thing in nowadays with that COVID-19 virus. These type of chemicals are famously used, especially the alcohol containing chemicals are usefully used to destroy the protein capsule of the viruses, and we call them disinfectants. To clean the floor, kitchen, toilet, bathroom, nowadays we use them to clean our hands as well. And the harm is contacting or living tissues is not safe, but using that alcoholic 70% alcoholic one is not harmful to use with the living tissues. Phenol or chlorine, the handling or touching them is very harmful to the living tissues. And to destroy the other harm is this destroys useful microorganisms as well. And these are the things about the chemicals used as the medicines, antiseptics, or disinfectants. There are questions now. First question: how it is called the chemicals used to destroy or prevent the growth of microorganisms? Destroy or prevent the growth, they are the antiseptics. How it is called the chemicals used to cure physical diseases? Is its medicines. 28. Give examples for disinfectants. Here are the examples: phenol, chlorine, alcohol, we discussed in previous slide. Next chapter, cosmetics. Four types of cosmetics shown here. Let's see them. First one, it's perfume types, and second one, lipsticks. Third one, kind of lotions, creams. Fourth one, hair dyes or the hair colorings. And their contents also explained here, and there are side effects of using them. Because these are cosmetics are artificial substances, mostly they contain mineral oil types or maybe some formaldehyde types and carbon compounds, and such artificial chemicals can be harmful and it can make some side effects. I'm not going to discuss them in details here, but let's see some common side effects. The headaches, vomiting, breathing difficulties can occur due to the perfumes, and side effects of using lipsticks irritate the skin. Sometimes the allergic responses can come. Blackening of the lips. Once a woman start to use that lipstick, they have to use that continuously because their lips getting blackening, or the black kind of dark color will come. And this one common thing again, the melanocyte destruction. Melanin is the protective pigment available in the skin, and it's resist against the UV or the ultraviolet rays. You know that it's common in all. They look at this here also. Melanocyte destruction take place when using lotions and creams, especially when using the fairness cream types, and they destroy the melanocytes. Melanocytes are the ones which they are the cells which produce the melanin. And in this one, hair coloring is also same thing can come, and especially when using some artificial creams and artificial dyes, there is a risk of cancer, and also there is a risk of the kidney failures. You can see them here. And now let's move on to the questions related to cosmetics. 29. What are the side effects of using creams and body lotions? We learned many here. Melanocyte destruction, risk of cancer, and can harm the brain, liver, and the kidneys. 30th. Write 2 cosmetics that cause melanocyte destruction. There are 3 we discussed: lipsticks, eyeliners. We didn't discuss that one. And lipsticks, eyeliners, creams, lotions, and hair dyes. All these 4 cause that melanocyte destruction. What is the organ which undergoes high risk when using lipsticks? There are 2 organs we discussed: liver and the kidney, mainly the kidney. Right. Next, the paint types. Paints are the colorful substances. They are artificial ones. There are some natural paints used ancient times, but nowadays we don't use natural ones. But these are synthetic ones. Synthetic means artificial paint types. In artificial paint type, how does it contain, or what are the components of this? Basically, there are some solvents and solids. Colorful substances are the solids. Solvent is the liquid that dissolve these solids. And also we call that as the vehicle and the pigment. Vehicle part means the part which provide the substrate for the pigment. Pigments are dissolved or mixed with that vehicle part. Vehicle contains of solvent, liquid, adhesives, and binder solvent and binder solids. And this binder or this component keeps the pigment and the solvent together. And this is how the paints are made. There are 2 types of paints. One is the water based type, dissolves in water. Other type thinner based. They dissolve in the thinner or kind of turpentine or such chemicals they dissolve. That means one type is the polar liquids, other one non-polar ones. Move on to the next the questions related to this. First question, this is 32nd one, and state the chemical types which are used to make paints. 3 chemicals we use: pigment, binder, and solvent. 33rd, and what is mean by the binder of a paint? Binder keep the solvent and the pigment together. Binder is the non-volatile substance and it keeps the pigment and binder together. And third, that is the next topic is persistent organic pollutants, POPs. Persistence means they exist in the environment for long time. And such pollutants, how do they harm the environment? With some pesticides, agrochemicals, this type of chemicals can add to the soil. Look what happens here. There are several things can happen. One thing, they can be absorbed through the roots to the plants, and they accumulate in plant. Persisting means they exist a long time in the plants. Or they can be added to the groundwater. Later on, that groundwater, if we take them as drinking water, they can enter back to the human body. And if somebody eat the produced by this plant, and also that once again can be entered to our body. The other fact is some persistent organic pollutants just cycles with the rain cycle or with the water cycle. When they can evaporate again with the rainwater, they can come back to the ground. Likewise, they stay long time. There are many harmful effects. Let's see the questions and discuss some more. 34. What does POP stand for? Persistent organic pollutants. POP. Then write 3 bad effects of POPs. Persist the environment for a long period of time, accumulate in the body of organisms, and accumulate, this is special, and it stay long time in the organism bodies. Also spread widely in the environment, and highly toxic. Next fact is that highly toxic ones. And next one, acid rain. This is a common one you discussed in from grade 6 or sometimes more earlier than that. You know this topic, the acid rain. Acid rains mainly caused by two gases. Sometimes carbon dioxide also can cause this one. Nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. Once we release them from the factories or industries, they can be mixed up with the water in the atmosphere. This occurs with the water cycle, and once they dissolve in water, they can form two strong acids. One is nitric acid, HNO3, other one sulfuric acid. And they are not formed concentratedly. Actually, very dilute acid can form here. So with more water it mixes up. This dilute acid just falls down with the rain. That is the acid rain. And also you have to understand the acid rains doesn't burn the forest at once. But when the acidic rain falls long time over the forest, this type of trees can killed with that one. And the rocks can dissolve, especially limestones can dissolve with it, and this acidic water, when that is collected in the water contamination take place. Also some absorb to the groundwater, and groundwater also contaminate with the acid rain. Acidity of the soil increases. It also not good for the crops or for the agriculture. It is not good. Therefore there are many harmful effects of acid rains. Questions and answers. 36. What are the gases that cause acid rains? Carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, nitrogen dioxide. Mainly these two we discussed. And write 4 ill effects of acid rains. Destruction of forest and crops. Destruction of aquatic organisms due to increase of the acidity or the pH value decreases in water. That's harmful to the organisms. Affects the absorption of minerals by the plants, and therefore plants will die. Dissolving limestones and other rocks. Sometimes limestone related buildings or some things also can be destroyed. Especially you know that Taj Mahal is made of a variety of limestone. There is a threat of acid rains on that building. Destruction of metallic buildings, statues, and with the other, what is that, and destruction of metallic buildings and statues, mainly those are the things, and other, it should be ruins, other ruins. Right, now let's move on to the next. Global warming. This is a result of greenhouse effect. When greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide or methane gas, or maybe the nitrous oxide gases, such gases, and also maybe water vapor H2O, when that is collected, H2O. So these type of gases, they will make a layer above the sky, and when the sunlight falls on the ground, the heat of the sun, normally it reflects out from the ground, but this layer will reflect it back to the earth. When the thickness of the layer increases, more and more radiations will reflect back. Therefore, the heat of the earth increases. So that increase of the warmth is the global warming. Main reason is greenhouse effect, and there are side effects you can see here. Some things reduce, glaciers decrease, snow cover decrease, spring coming earlier, and ice, because when the heat increases, sometimes flowers bloom early, fruiting take place early, and sea ice level decrease, ice sheets decrease. As a result of decrease in these things, some other things take place. When ice decreases or the ice level decreases, the sea level or the water level increases. As the water level increases, then land gets flooded. Also, the temperature, the increase of temperature can change the humidity of the atmosphere. When the humidity changes, the water cycle changes, rain pattern, weather pattern, everything change. So global warming is a huge threat to the organisms and to this earth. Move on to the questions. First, 38. What is meant by global warming? The greenhouse effect is the warming the earth and the surface and the air. Greenhouse effect is a warming effect. It causes the gases in the air to trap energy from the sun. This is the global warming. What is the main reason for global warming? It is greenhouse effect. The straightforward effects of global warming: melting the polar ice caps or the glaciers, and desertification, and rising the sea levels and submerging lands, and change the global climatic patterns. So these are the side effects of it. Now next chapter, ozone layer depletion. And ozone layer, it's available in the stratosphere. Ozone layer is very important. You can see this picture, and ultraviolet types. Some ultraviolet types falling on the earth, they are not harmful. Actually, this ultraviolet type is important for the photosynthesis process as well. But the UVB type, it's harmful, and ozone layer can reflect or just filter out ultraviolet rays, and very small amount enters the earth. Therefore, this is very important layer. It acts as an umbrella over our earth. If this umbrella damage, if there are holes in the umbrella, then whole ultraviolet rays, these harmful ultraviolet rays also will enter. They can cause several side effects, mainly eye cataracts or skin cancers, or the some problems in the photosynthesis process can cause due to the ultraviolet rays. So how does this ozone layer destroy? The main agent is CFC gas, chlorofluorocarbon gas, and nitrous oxide gas, because these gases steal oxygen from the ozone. Ozone is 3 oxygen molecule or 3. Then if one oxygen is steal out or the broken down and taken out here, then oxygen will form, oxygen gas. And here with normally with the chlorofluorocarbon, this chlorine, when sunlight falls, chlorine combines with one oxygen and forms, we call that this molecule. Look at this molecule. It is called the single oxygen chlorine monoxide. We call this chlorine monoxide, and this is oxygen O2, and chlorine monoxide forms. And this is the reason to damage the ozone layer. When ozone layer becomes the oxygen gas, there will be holes in it. Therefore, ultraviolet rays can come. You can see the ozone layer depletion chemicals here: CFCs, HCFCs, and the halons, and also methyl bromides. These are the agents, or actually these are the causes for the ozone depletion. Look at the questions. How do ozone gas form? O3 are formed by combining atomic oxygen, single oxygen with oxygen molecules. At which layer atmosphere that does the ozone layer plays, that is stratosphere. 43. Why does ozone is important to the earth? That is, the ozone layer acts as a protective shield to prevent the entry of harmful ultraviolet rays to the earth's surface. That's why it's important. Next, what are the gases that destroy ozone layer? Nitric oxide, NO, and chlorofluorocarbon. These two destroy the ozone layer. 45. Write 4 ill effects of ozone layer depletion. Skin cancers, eye cataracts, mutations, loss of immunity, and affects the photosynthesis process. Then next chapter, photochemical smog. This is a new term and the newly arising condition on the earth. It occurs due to the gas, especially the water vapor and nitrogen dioxide gas, and with the carbon particles released to the atmosphere. In urban area, this photochemical smog, it seems like a fog over the cities. It look like little bit brownish color. Normally when fog comes it looks whitish color, but the photochemical smog looks like brownish color layer. I will show you a pictorial photo here. Look at this one. This is not the fog or this is not the mist. This is the photochemical smog over the city. And when the pollutant, air pollutant rise in at very high extent, lot of cities around the world has faced this problem. Even in India, New Delhi city has faced this problem, photochemical smog. And look at the questions related to that. How it is called the foggy smoke lining over the polluted cities, photochemical smog. And write 3 ill effects of the environmental pollution described in above question. Ill effects are cough, wheeze, vision impairment, and also because it looks like a kind of fog or the misty, and the clearance of the air will destroy with this, will reduce with that, clearance will reduce, and the fades the clothes, effects on the clothes, not only the clothes, other surfaces and the painted buildings also will fade out with this. And toxitoplants also affect on the plants, especially the plant leaves. Photosynthesis process will be hampered or damaged with this one. Last one, biomagnification. Under today's plan, this is the last thing, biomagnification. Biomagnification, some chemicals, especially the persisting chemicals or the POPs or the heavy metals, they can be accumulated in organism bodies. When it is accumulated in some type of phytoplankton types and small diatoms, it will be a small amount. But when other organisms, these are the zooplanktons, and when they are eating, their concentration of that chemicals in the second level is greater than the previous. When these ones are eaten by that herring here, in herring the concentration is more because they accumulate, they don't live with the excretory system. That is the main problem here. They have more concentration. When another carnivore animal eats this fish, that animal's concentration is higher, and the biggest whales, they have the highest concentration. And if this fish is eaten by man, and the same problem will come, and there will be more chemicals stay or the just magnificate or stay or accumulate in the human body. And here there is an example with the parts per million. DDT, how DDT chemical is accumulate in the body. Start with here in water 0.003 parts per million, but the zooplanktons, they have higher concentration. You can see 0.04 here. Then small fishes 0.5 parts per million, and it's more than that. and in the large fish around 2, and when it's come to the birds it's 5. If instead of this bird, if there is a man here, and the same amount of higher concentration will be accumulating there. And this problem is the biomagnification. And questions and answers. What is biomagnification? Accumulation of toxic chemicals or pollutants along the food chains from one trophic level to the other is called the biomagnification. Right, two harmful effects of bioaccumulated substances: do not degrade easily, that means stay long time in there, and retain for a long period of time, and can pass from one organism to other, and soluble in lipids. And those are the facts, and become activate as the biochemicals and other harmful effects become active as the biochemicals. So this is the end of 26 to 49 question, and we have 51 more questions to discuss. And you can just press the like button if you just get something or gain something from this video. The other fact is you can subscribe the YouTube channel to just get a notice once we upload the next video. Then as soon as possible I will upload the next question list from 50th question to the 75th. Okay, goodbye everybody.